Perfect weather for the perfect guest to officially open the Abberton scheme. Sir David Attenborough arrived at the Essex Wildlife Trust's Abberton Reservoir Visitor Centre for a special private tour of the site and the water treatment works at Leia. And the naturalist and TV broadcaster was impressed.
The care that the company has taken to make sure that there's adequate facilities for the wildlife here, notably, of course, the water birds, is wonderful and heartening, and it's only just beginning. You know, it's right at the end. It's right at the start. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of its importance to the birds of this country.
He met Abberton Reservoir Expansion Project Manager Daniel Wilson at the Dam and Valve Tower to learn about the enlargement of the reservoir by 58%. He was then taken to the water treatment works at Leia de la Haye to meet team leader Paul Barker and his team to hear about how the high-quality drinking water is produced for customers' taps. Whilst there, Charlie Thackeray and Katie Murdoch from Essex and Suffolk Water explained how the water is pumped across central and southern Essex and to the East London boroughs. Conservation advisor Kim Wallace showed Sir David some of the 200 hectares of natural habitat that have been created for bird and wildlife, and helped him to spot some of the species of birds that make this such a special site with some of the most important designations such as Ramsar, Special Protection Area and a Special Site of Scientific Interest. Sir David's speech to 1,200 specially invited guests and members of the public reflected many of the aspects of the construction and conservation work.
You either develop or you conserve. And that led to confrontations. It led to arguments. Today is fundamentally, extraordinarily, and wonderfully different. Here you have development and conservation working hand in hand to produce a fantastic solution.
He went on to speak about the challenges facing a growing population.
The climate, without any question, is changing. The globe is warming. We have to do something about it. The consequences of both those things will be that water becomes increasingly precious. So it is with the eye to the future that Essex and Suffolk Water have produced this extraordinary development of this reservoir.
Following the speech, Sir David Attenborough declared the Abberton scheme officially open by unveiling a commemorative stone made from recycled materials from the reservoir site. And Heidi Mottram, Chief Executive of Northumbrian Water Group, parent company of Essex and Suffolk Water, presented Sir David with a handmade water carafe to remind him of his visit to Abberton Reservoir.
This is such a fantastic project, not only in terms of securing water supplies in this, obviously the driest part of our country, but what is really special as well about Abberton is the amazing wildlife habitat here. It's internationally renowned for wildfowl, so what better person to have to come and celebrate the opening than somebody who absolutely, I guess, lives, breathes and is such an ambassador for wildlife worldwide. So really, really proud.
28 years I think is the first time I came here, and this project's been running the whole time for that. So this is really a culmination of all that, a great celebration of everything that's been achieved for water and for wildlife.
The Abberton scheme included the enlargement of the reservoir to hold 15 billion litres of extra water, but also projects to secure and increase the capabilities of the water transfer network across East Anglia. 2 raw water pipelines were installed and a new pumping station built at Wormingford on the River Stour, and a new visitor centre for the Essex Wildlife Trust.
The reservoir is by far the largest part of it, but it's only one part of the whole scheme. The whole scheme includes bringing water down from up near the Wash from a place called Denver. So we're looking at rainfall that is on the Bedford area that runs off into the Great Ouse and then is diverted at Denver into a series of man-made rivers, channels and tunnels, and using natural rivers to bring it down into the Essex area to support the two large reservoirs in Essex.
It was a day that brought the crowds to Abberton Reservoir and the Essex Wildlife Trust Visitor Centre to see a legend of conservation and TV natural history. Many will take away fond memories of seeing Sir David Attenborough at a place that's now improved for wildlife and people alike.